Now with breaking news. This is News Channel 5 at 6.
We have just received a letter from him resigning immediately, and we accepted it. All right.
Thank you.
And with that, House Speaker Cameron Sexton announces the resignation of a member of his Republican leadership team just hours after News Channel 5 Investigates exposed a sexual harassment scandal involving that lawmaker. Hello, everyone. I'm Carrie Sharp.
And I'm Vicki Yates. Representative Scotty Campbell was among those who recently voted to expel the Tennessee Three, but it turns out Campbell and the GOP had their own secrets.
As our Phil Williams discovered, Campbell had quietly been found guilty of sexually harassing legislative interns, but nothing had happened, Phil, until today.
That's right. We discovered that the East Tennessee Republican had been found guilty in that secret process of sexually harassing the college interns, accused of some extremely vulgar behavior. But Campbell didn't lose his leadership post in the Republican caucus nor his committee seats. That all changed within hours after we confronted him this morning. Hey, Representative Campbell, how are you, sir? We wanted to give the East Tennessee Republican a chance to respond to the findings of our latest investigation of Tennessee's Capitol Hill. As I understand, you admitted to sexually harassing this intern?
Give me just 5 seconds. Okay.
In fact, Scotty Campbell already knew we were investigating some serious allegations.
Hold on just a second.
About his relationship with at least one legislative intern, although he would soon divulge there was a second intern.
Which direction do I need to look for your camera?
Just look at me.
Sure.
Campbell is vice chair of the House Republican caucus, and when 3 Democrats engaged in a gun violence protest on the House floor, he voted to expel all 3. Yet this memo obtained by News Channel 5 Investigates shows a secret ethics panel recently concluded that based on a staff investigation, the ethics subcommittee finds that Representative Campbell violated the legislature's sexual harassment policy.
I had consensual adult conversations with 2 adults off property.
One doesn't get written up for consensual conversations. The letter says that you were guilty of violating the harassment policy.
I think conversations are consensual once that's verbally agreed to. And if I choose to talk to any intern in the future, it will be recorded.
One of the interns had an apartment in Capitol Towers, a condo apartment complex next to the Capitol where Campbell also had a place. The Republican lawmaker allegedly saw her and a 19-year-old intern going into her apartment. According to an account the victim sent to her university, Campbell made comments about how he was in his apartment imagining that we were performing sexual acts on one another and how it drove him crazy knowing that was happening so close to him. The woman added, "I uncomfortably explained that was not happening, and he insisted that he knew it was and asked me to tell him about it." She continued, "I explained that she is my friend, and he proceeded to describe how sexually attractive he finds her, referring to the 19-year-old intern." You were in your apartment imagining that they were performing sexual acts on one another?
That's not true.
So she's just making that up?
Yes.
On another occasion, the woman says she went to Campbell's apartment to return a wrench she had borrowed. Quote, "He proceeded to ask how many men I've slept with. She recalled, I told him 0, and he insisted I was lying and told me not to lie. He then proceeded to ask how many women I've slept with and said he bets girls go crazy over me." You asked her about how many men she had slept with and then asked about how many women she had slept with?
No.
So you're saying she's just making all of this up?
I'm saying that we had a consensual adult conversation.
Then, according to the woman's account, the Republican leader offered cannabis gummies if she would show him tattoos and piercings on her body. He denies it. Her story, I told him absolutely not, and he begged me for several hugs. She says I was getting progressively more afraid and uncomfortable. He then reached out his hand towards me and grabbed me around my neck. I recoiled and said I felt sick and immediately left. Again, Campbell says he didn't think he did anything wrong.
I was told that if anything ever crossed the line, they would tell me directly. And I'm hearing it from Phil.
But remember the report from the ethics panel finding that Campbell had indeed violated the harassment policy. So are you saying the ethics subcommittee is lying?
I'm saying that I did not know that a workplace policy could be enforced when you're not at work.
But News Channel 5 Investigates has learned that legislative officials took the complaints against Campbell so seriously that they've now spent thousands of dollars to get the intern out of her lease at Capitol Towers, to move her furniture back home, and to put her up in a downtown hotel until her internship is done. As for how Campbell thinks his vote to expel the Tennessee Three squares with his own behavior,
They broke the House rules of decorum.
and you broke the House policies regarding sexual harassment, according to this letter.
I had a consensual conversation with adults, and when the adults informed me that we could talk and that there weren't guardrails, I talked to who I thought were my friends.
Friends whose definition of friendship appears to be far different from this Republican's idea of what it means to be a friend. Again, Representative Campbell resigned about 6 hours after we confronted him with those allegations. Still, there are lots of questions that are not answered. Why did Speaker Sexton and other Republican leaders not act more decisively? And how much is this costing taxpayers? Legislative officials say that number is confidential, but you can bet we're not done investigating. Vicki?
We know that. Thank you so much, Phil.